Okay, so today we're going to talk about algebraic expressions, and this is notes in 1-2. Right. So the instruction says to simplify each of the following, leave answers in factored form. Okay, so if you'll remember in 1-1 we were factoring things and we just left them in factored form. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at these different expressions and we're going to factor things because, as many of you said in class, when you factor things you can reduce them, and when you're reducing you're simplifying. So that's kind of the idea we've got going on here. Okay, so one of the things you might remember from your fraction multiplication is when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the tops and you multiply the bottoms. Okay, before we start multiplying anything though, we want to go ahead and get these in factored form, because if we have common factors in the numerator and the denominator, then they divide out. The same number on the numerator and the denominator is equal to 1. So that's kind of what we want to go for. Now, some folks like to set things up a little differently than others. What I like to do here is I like to just go ahead and treat this as one big thing. So I'm going to have x plus 3. And then I want to factor x to the third minus 8. So I go back to my factor rules, which say if you have two terms with no GCF, like we have here, then the only thing you can hope for is that they're cubes or squares. Well, as it turns out, that's x to the third, and 8 is the same thing as 2 cubed. Okay, so then if we look at our factor notes, we'll see that when you have the cubes, you want to use the formula remember these notes. A to the third minus b to the third is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Okay, so in this case, a is x and b is 2. So we're going to write this as x minus 2. That's our a minus b. And then a squared will be x squared. AB will be 2x, and we're adding them. And then b squared is going to be 4, because 2 squared is 4. Okay, so that's our new numerator, all factored out. We look at x squared minus 4, two terms, no GCF. So we're going to use either they have to be squares or cubes for us to be able to do anything, and x squared, 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. So we can use our handy dandy chart again that says if you have the difference of squares, that's equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in our case, it's going to be x minus 2, or x plus 2, x minus 2. Alright, now x squared minus x minus 12, we're going to have to go with our 3 terms no GCF, which is our lengthy steps. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with going through all of those all over again, because you just did a whole worksheet on them. So I'm just going to come over here to the side and go through it, because I'm going to need a little room to work. Okay, so I'm ending up with x minus 4 times x plus 3. Okay, so we look, we have x plus 3 as a factor in the numerator and in the denominator, so that's equal to 1. X minus 2 and x minus 2, so that's also 1, so I'm left with x squared plus 2x plus 4 over x plus 2, x minus 4. Our instructions say leave answers in factored form, so we are done. Okay. All right, let's try another one. We have division this time, and because we have fractions, right? When we divide with fractions, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. So x squared minus 4 is going to stay the same over 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. Over here we're going to have the reciprocal, so 4x squared minus 1 over 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now we work it out just like the other one. We're going to go ahead and factor. Okay, so that's its factored form. Now we go about the business of dividing out. So x minus 2 divided by x minus 2, 2x plus 1 divided by 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1 divided by 2x minus 1, which simply leaves x plus 2 over x minus 2. Okay. All right, so then we have addition and subtraction. And if you'll think really hard for a minute, you'll remember that when you're adding fractions, the denominators have to be the same. So what we're looking for here is the greatest common multiple. Okay, or sorry, not greatest, least. Okay, so we want to, what are the factors of 2xy? Well, it's already factored, 2 times x times y. Okay, now 6 is not prime. 6 is 2 times 3, and then x times x. So I'm looking here, I have a 2 in both, so I don't need to put in anything for the 2. I have a 3 here, I don't have a 3 over here, so I'm gonna need a 3. Okay, so that one's gonna need a 3, and they both have an x. But this one has a second x, so we need to put an additional x there. And then this has a y and this one doesn't, so here's the y.